Hi, I'm Chef Jay, and I'm showing you how to debone the fish. Here's the salmon. First of all, it's very slimy. You can see it right now. There's a lot of slimy stuff on the fish. You want to, I usually do it on the sink. You know, I don't do on a table because it is pretty dirty to clean it up. There's a lot of people like to do it on a table. Use the towel to wipe it off, the slimy stuff. I usually try to scrape it off with a knife. So you can see it right now. All this slimy stuff, you can see it running off right now. You can see it. And then once I scrape it off, then later on it won't have anything anymore on it. So you can see it right now. So I do a little bit different from anybody else. So, and I also cut the fishes different from anybody else too. So this, you can see how dirty that is. You know, the slimy stuff, you know, fish, you know. That's done with this side. And then now rinse it with water. Clean it off. All this, clean it off. So flip it over. And this side I haven't done yet. So it's still very slimy. So shut it off, shut the water off, and then do the same thing. You know, you can see it. And then you need to clean the knife and ready to cut. Just to rinse this off. And any stuff inside you want to clean, you can clean it. And flip that over and clean this off. Now, you see the collar right here. You know, the fin, the first fin right here. All the way to the head right here. As close as possible. Once you get in there, just a little jerk, you know, onto it. Then you cut the bones off on one side. And there's people want to cut it from here all the way, push the knife to the front. That's not how I do it, you know. So I do a little bit different from anybody else. So that way you will waste a lot of meat on the fish. So usually at the back here and the tail here, I like to run my knife into it, and then cut it into it right now. That's it. And then cut it through the tail off. So the tail here is all bone now. Nothing, no meat on this part. So we're gonna throw that away. We don't need it anyway. Some people want to mix soup out of it. You could do that, you know. Now, on this end, I'm gonna do the same thing. You cut, and then just slowly cut. The head is all gone. The head is cut out. So just dump it away. And this part of the tail, same thing. You run your knife onto it, and then you run it. So that way, you know, both sides is just bone here now. So put your knife right there. So you can see it right here. This area, you want to run it. So pull the stomach part out. So you can see it. All this cut out is into the bone. So you can see it right here. And then you from that tip all the way into to the front. So you can see it. You can hear it. I cut it straight through now. So this is all the way. Open it up a little bit. You don't want to open it too hard, okay? So run your knife along with the bone here, or right on the center of it. And then so that way you don't waste a lot of meat. If you run it straight from the back to the front, you will waste a lot of meat on the middle. Okay? So you want to put a little against it, the center there. So pull it out. So right there. So we got a little bit more on the back here. So I'm gonna open up the middle and then run my knife from the back here. So there we go. So the whole part is out. You can see here hardly have any meat on it. And same thing with this one. You know, it's cut out, clean. And I'm gonna, you can see it here, a little bone on it on the other side, so you don't have a lot of meat on it. You can run your knife here along with the bone, and then try to trim this out. So right here, you will trim this garbage out. This is no good anymore. So just dump it away from it right now, and then the tail is a little tip here. Earlier I cut off, so you will still take off the skin. The little meat you still could use for bacon or anything like that you want, you know. So we put it in the bowl there. So we dump it off, and this is where the teriyaki, yeah, salmon right there. Okay, so put your knife in the front of the rib cage here. Try to get a little bit, wiggle a little bit for the knife to get in there. So just use a small tip of it. So I'm trying to just to open that little bit up. You see it? So so that way you could run a little bit more into it. So make sure you the knife is right against the bone onto it when you're pulling it, so you don't waste a lot of meat. You see all this bone, you can see it, you know, and then you slip the knife into it, you know, more, and then so slowly pull it. You don't need to pull a lot, you know. You're not in a hurry, I hope not. So you know, so all those out, pull it out. What's done, take it out. This is no good anymore, so we don't want this anymore. So all this, you see the bone, you will see it, you know, all this, the bone right there. So this is garbage, okay? So clean this out a little bit, and when they cleaned the fish, wasn't cleaned very clean. So you know, this is the part you don't want it, and dump it away. You know, I'll put it in garbage can later. So this is done. So I'm gonna pull the bones out. This is what you need to use for pull the bones out. First of all, you want to put your fingers, feel anything on the side here. You know, when you cut the head off. You know, you see it, then just pull it out right there. You see it, and then you're gonna come up now. You know, as you're pulling it, you know, your hand could feel it. You know, all those are out. Remember, not jerking it. You know, the whole fish is shaking. You know, it's from wobbling side to side. You don't want that. You know, you want the fish to be, stay laying there, put it still. You know, so that way you pull it. You don't want to damage the fish. You know. Remember, all the fish have fat in it. If you do it so diligently, you know, you're gonna ruin the fish. So you want to do it diligently. So right there, you don't see the fish is moving a lot. You know, I just pull the bones out. You know, it's pretty simple here. By the way, the fish usually have around 28 rib cage bone, you know. Sometimes about 29, you know, or 27, you know. It's pretty close around that ballpark figure, so. Okay, this is done. So all the bones out, and I'm gonna show you how to cut this into sashimi grade, okay? So So this is the part you want to clean that out. Earlier I cut through for this side of the bone, on the center of the bone. So I kind of cut it a little bit along with it too. The little tiny piece bone also cut it off. So right now I don't need that no more. I just dumped it away, you know. So it's so close. So right now you want to cut this in the center. So right here is the center. You can see the line here. So you want to break that in right onto the middle. So, and I'll explain why you need to cut it on the middle. You know, there's some sushi restaurant that don't do it that way. They do it, cut it this way, about 3 inches apart. You know, 2.5 to 3 inches apart. They use a sashimi on the sideway. I don't like to use that way. You know, so I like to use this way. So I'm gonna cut the tip here, just ready for sashimi use. You know, instead of on the time you have to retrim it and this and that. You know, so right here, the bone earlier we cut a little too close to it. So you want to take this out. There we go. So this is what do you want to take it out? Right there. And then cut that in half. It's ready to wrap it and ready to use. Okay. So I put the wrap on it. So make sure you know the clean side is on one side. So the wrap, you know, I'm gonna put it on the back. Even the back is not so clean, it's not gonna touch it, you know. So I'm gonna wrap it and then use a couple more wrap on the back here, you know. But I'm not showing you on the camera. I don't have the room to show you, okay? And then I'll get another piece. I'm trying to double wrap it, okay? This is one of them, and I'll turn around and then I'll put a couple roll on it. And just roll it for a couple more times, so that way it's tight, you know. This it. So ready for use. So this is the other half on this side. So I'm just cut that into it for teriyaki salmon. This is how we do it here. So this is cut out. That's how that is for it. And then at the end too, you know, salmon teriyaki. On here, we still could use for sashimi here for a little bit, you know. And this piece, I'm gonna use it for doing the roll. You know, like some of the roll we need fish, so you know we're gonna cut that into using the fish. So this one, roll it and put it on it. Turn around, put a couple more roll on it. Got one more to go. It's not that hard. You know, once you see how I'm doing it, you know, you see, even in the future, you know, any kind of fish you can break it. Hamachi, you know, albacore, or any other fish, you know, is, you know, once you know how to do it, then you pretty much you can do it all, you know. It's, you know, it's not that hard to do it. See, right now, I already tried to say it was so much, just a tiny bit of meat there, you know, when you cut it, that's not a whole lot. So, I have a bowl here, and I put it onto it, you know. So, it's not a whole lot, just a tiny, you know, scrape it off by the spoon, you know, I mean, you know, just, you know, you don't want to scrape it off, you could throw it away. I'm just trying to show you, you know, you could scrape it out for anything you want to bake it or anything like that, you know, you could use it. So this is clean enough, so we could throw that away for the bun. I'm going to show you how to cut the other half, you know, okay? Since I earlier opened this half already, so to the bone, so you will see that, you know. So I'm gonna use the tip of the knife here, just to get in here. You see how that is, you know. You see how the tip of the knife going into here. You will see why. So this is opened up right now. So you can see it. Put the knife here, just along with the center bone. Okay. So I'm trying to see if open it up, so you don't waste a lot of meat. So everything is pushed it through, and then you know, cut it through so you can see it doesn't have much meat left there. So I'm gonna use this knife, same thing here, and then break the vertebrae here, break the rib cage here, so you can see it. I'm trying to do it a little slow so you can see how that is. You can see it, you can see it, and there we go. All this out, okay? All this out, then you're gonna flip the knife over and then push it through and then cut this out. So that way you don't have anything against it, a lot of meat on it, you know. So this is done. So I'm trying to tell you, you see how much meat is here? That's hardly anything. I'm gonna scrape it so you can see how much that is, you know. So look at that, half of them done, just a tiny bit, you know. It's not a whole lot, you know. Most people would throw it away. I'm just showing you this could be able to be used, you know. So this is how much you need. So it's just not even 2 spoons, you know. So all the bones out and we throw this away. So I'll dump it in the garbage can later on. So I'm gonna show you how to do this other half, okay? Okay. So since this is, I don't have a lot of room to play around, so I'm gonna get rid of some of them so you don't have to, you know. So this is the tail here. That's a piece tiny meat, and then we cut it off first. The rib cage right here. So this, clean the back here a little bit first, and then throw that away, and then I'm gonna move the rib cage here all the way to the front here, all the way to the front. You see it? And you want to wiggle it so the tip of the knife could go against the rib, you know, at the beginning. So you can see that I could be able to put my knife in now. So after it's done, kind of pull it toward against the bone. So that way you don't want to waste too much meat out of it. So, you know, so this is how that is. This is almost done here. So the rib cage is all out. You know, all this is, you know, bones now. You know, those are the stuff you don't need. Clean this off a little bit. You know, clean it off. And remember, the back here, we need to clean that off too. So I'm gonna turn it around. So the fish is almost clean. I need to pull the bones out too. So right now, we're gonna move the back here and the remaining here. So you can see it. You see how that is. This is coming off. So you can see that off. Very clean. So I'm gonna run this all the way to the end of it. So this is all the way. So the back part is too long here. I'm gonna cut this off first for teriyaki. And then once that cut off, I'm gonna clean this out a little bit too. So the little kind of like too close to the bone, the little gristles there. And right now I'm ready to remove the bones out here. So pick it up and put your finger, see if you could feel anything here. So we don't feel anything over there, so it's okay. So that's one right here. I'm gonna pull that out right there. You see it? And then we got a few more to go on this side. Sometimes some bones are really hard to take it out, but this one is pretty similar, pretty easy to take it out. Sometimes, you know, the fish, you know, it's really tough to pull bones out, but this one is very easy. So I'm gonna done all the bones, and then we're gonna wrap it very soon. So okay, and then this is the last one. All the bones out, okay? So I'm gonna dump it away. And I'm gonna cut it right now. All the bones and garbage right now. So I always said in the middle here, that's where you should cut off. So, you know, look at the line and then cut it right through there. So you can see the gristle and then all those need to be cut out, you know, and later on when we cut into for sashimi. So this part we don't need. We want to set it ready for sashimi later on, and then you know, we just cut this in half. That's all we need. Cut it in half and wrap it and ready for use. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it. So this fish is completely done. So there we go. So here's one of them. Here's another quarter here. So push that in and then run that. If you want to wrap it and put another piece of roller for a couple of times on it. And once the couple of times is done, you will see it all running for a couple of times. I wish I could show you over here, but I don't have enough room to show in, you know, everything is in the way. So cut that off for. This is the salmon teriyaki. We grill it, and once that out, then we cut this one for sashimi. This one can be used for sashimi. I'm gonna cut this off. This one is gonna be for sashimi here, for the sushi roll. You could cut that into for a sushi roll. Okay, so this is done. Wrap it again. And this is how we rolled it up. The fish is done. And I hope you enjoy it. And thank you very much. Okay? I'll see you next time. Remember, Salida location will no longer have that store anymore. We left that location right now. I want to thank you all the customers supported us through that location. Thank you very much. Okay, you have a nice day and nice evening. Okay, thank you.